Notre Dame, it started in 1100 as two towers separately. When you see the cathedral right now, you'll see that it's made of two towers. So the bishop of that time, he wanted to make a cathedral, and he had the idea of connecting the towers. So he connected the towers in the cathedral that you see today. It was a work of 13 years, but it was upgraded for 200 years and more. As you know, Notre Dame is a UNESCO monument, and unfortunately 3 years ago it burned inside, so we cannot see it inside, but on the outside it's really a jewel of the architecture. So come and see.
Notre Dame de Paris, also called Notre Dame Cathedral, Cathedral Church in Paris. It is the most famous of the Gothic cathedrals of the Middle Ages and is distinguished for its size, antiquity, and architectural interest. The Notre Dame Cathedral, with its sculptures and stained glass windows, shows the heavy influence of naturalism, unlike that of earlier Romanesque architecture. It was one of the very first Gothic cathedrals, and its construction took place throughout the Gothic period. On April 15, 2019, a fire broke out under the eaves of Notre Dame Cathedral's roof. The fire engulfed the spire and most of the roof. The fire began around 6:30 p.m. local Paris time on Monday, April 15th, and burned until the next morning, Tuesday, April 16th. Fire engulfed the spire and most of the roof. Thankfully, firefighters were able to control the blaze, saving the main structure, including the bell towers and rose windows. Nobody was injured, and the Catholic relics housed in the cathedral and priceless works of art were rescued and brought to safety. I was not able to go inside the cathedral because of this. Building work began on the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris way back in the 12th century. It was not until some 300 years later construction finally came to an end. It is now one of the most prominent cathedrals in France and one of the oldest ones too. The length of time it took to build is evident through the various styles of architecture that run through the building. Although it is predominantly French Gothic, there are areas that demonstrate the Renaissance and the Naturalism era of construction. These varying styles add to the outstanding yet quirky beauty of the building. Over its vast history, the cathedral has suffered considerable damage, not least during the French Revolution in 1786. Fortunately, it was sympathetically restored and continued to attract attention from around the world. The cathedral has played host to many religious ceremonies and historical events, and despite their own religious beliefs, people of all different faiths and nationalities still marvel at its unique grandeur. The Notre Dame Cathedral is widely considered one of the finest examples of French Gothic architecture in the world. The name Notre Dame means Our Lady in French and is frequently used in the names of Catholic church buildings in Francophone countries. The Notre Dame Cathedral is the actual cathedral of the Catholic Archdiocese of Paris, which is to say, it is the church that contains the official chair cathedra of the Archbishop of Paris, André Cardinal Vantois.
$1,100 for 20 years. So let's say that he finalized the final project, cathedral, and you see the beauty that you can observe it today. Yes, I'm smiling because I know how stupid I'm looking with Paris on me.
one of the lesser visited sites in and around Paris, and therefore a peaceful haven that provides an insight into pre-Versailles life for the French kings. The fortress, with an impressive turret standing 164 feet 50 meters tall, is one of the tallest in Europe. The Chateau of Vincennes is surrounded by a 3,608 feet 1,100 meters long fortified wall with 9 towers, and is also protected by a moat, 88 feet 27 meters wide. It is situated on the outskirts of the city center in the forest of Vincennes. Like most fortresses, the Chateau of Vincennes was originally a country house located in a hunting area. It was later remodeled, and various generations of the royal family lived in the castle. Between the 16th and 17th centuries, the fortified tower was converted into a royal prison where generals, aristocrats, and famous individuals like Diderot, Count of Mirabeau, Fouquet, or the
We don't
Marquis
need
de
to
Sade
use
were
the thank
locked
you
away.
every time. No. We just forgive that one. It's better. So, what's the name of this? Vincennes. Vincennes.
Vincennes. Why it's such a beautiful city? In the old times, 300-400 years ago, it was like the capital of France. How it is today, Paris. It was Vincennes. So actually, before the King Henry XIII, he moved his center in Versailles. It was first here in Vincennes. After that, so they moved to Paris, Vincennes, Paris, Versailles, and then again Paris. So it was the center, the cultural center, the high society center, and you'll see plenty of amazing buildings.
We decided to spend half the day at this lovely understated chateau. It was only a few more metro stops past the area where we were staying. The metro stop drops you off in front of the chateau. We arrived a few minutes before they opened. You walk in through the drawbridge, and the ticket office and gift shop are in the building to the right. You will need a ticket to get into the main chateau building and to get into the Sainte-Chapelle de Vincennes. We decided to spend a few euros and get the self-audio tour, which was definitely worth it. I would highly recommend the audio tour since it was easy to use and provided a detailed description of what was once in the chateau. Sainte-Chapelle was just beautiful, especially with the morning sunshine coming in through the stained glass. There is also a museum of the French military in another building that was quite interesting to walk through. All in all, this was an excellent half-day excursion without the large crowds.
you.